It's time to get it on. Sly at Night.
Howard Stern, the master of media manipulation, or simply the human hype machine? Is the king of radio going to take his rebel without a pause, rapid fire, lewd, crude with so much attitude radio show all the way to the top of the television world? Or is Howard Stern simply the glittering rhinestone in the jumpsuit of hype that can make us believe even for a second, hey, maybe those Spice Girls don't suck? Is he the triumph of style over substance, or simply the future of television? The sad truth may be that for most of us, sometimes if the gift wrapping on the outside of the box is fancy enough, we won't notice that inside there's nothing but a pile of crap.
Not have an alternative to Saturday Night Live. I was watching Saturday Night Live last weekend, and you turn over to some of the CBS stations, and I don't even know what they're running.
I don't know either.
And really, nobody's running anything. And so why not have the Howard Stern radio show? By the way, that's what we're calling it, the Howard Stern radio show, because that is what it is. It's the best of our radio show. I think the reason our show is better than Saturday Night Live is because it deals in reality. Rather than having a made-up sketch, we get people in here and we do the real thing. We don't make jokes about, we don't have a lesbian sketch. We drag in real lesbians. We don't sit there and pretend to be, for example, Wesley Snipes. We drag him in here and do something with him. I mean, it's about reality. If there's a whole difference. It's reality programming versus sketches. I don't even, you know what, I hate to say this, I'm not sure what show is going to be on Saturday night because we haven't finished out this week. We're going to take the stuff from this week or last week, and we have a whole bunch of choices. The problem that we have is that we have too much material, unlike Saturday Night Live that has to stretch out bits. Our problem is that in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we have taped so much stuff that we can't cram it into the 43 minutes that a 1-hour show allows. Suddenly you tune over to see what's doing in our show, and I think what's going to happen is people are going to not be able to tune away because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, just sitting here watching Larry Flynt in his wheelchair with his bodyguards, arguing with his daughter, we had a camera on her as well, is fascinating television to me. It's a completely different kind of television. It's confrontational, it's real, it's a guy with a real problem with his daughter. I like that better on a Saturday night. I mean, I'm really pushing for this week's show to be the Frankenstein Makeover Contest, where we just had tons of naked women and a doctor trying to mark them up like cattle and telling us what was wrong with them. I love makeovers.
The Howard Stern Radio Show.
Yeah, baby!
So there you have it, Howard Stern coming to TVW. Now, typically, you'd get some newscaster giving you his viewpoint on things. Instead, we get your viewpoint on them. That's what we do here. That's why it's called Live Talkback. You call us at 270-9933. It's simple, it's easy. In fact, before I do anything else, Shelley, line 3. Hi, how are you?
Okay, yeah, I think Howard Stern is awesome. He says what he says, and he does live. I wish we did have it here. I really do.
Well,
we have cable.
Interesting that you're saying that. We are going to have Howard Stern Saturday night, 10:30 p.m. here on TVW, and on top of that, carried by a now what will be a local affiliate here in the market, WTLX. We'll be talking with the program director of a radio station now carrying Howard Stern in the morning as well.
Okay, I think that's great. You know, he's an upfront individual when you think about it. I mean, not too many people are like that.
That's very true. And speaking of being upfront, I want to come clean right now. Monica Lewinsky bought me this shirt.
All right.
Does that bother you,
I was
Shelley?
going to say, even the president is not upfront, you know.
So, Howard Stern for president. Shelley, thank you so much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See? So there you go. We have all sorts of questions, all sorts of comments, and we're going to get to those. You know, Chris, you're on line 1. Chris, hi, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good. What's going to be the difference in the content between the E-Entertainment show that is currently running on cable also and the show that you're going to be running on this channel?
The difference in content is a couple of things. A, Howard has a chance now to have the CBS staff who's syndicating him behind him. He's got writers, he's got sketch writers, there will be sketches involved. I think that more than likely, instead of the rules being changed for Howard, he's probably changing the rules.
Is there going to be more angry drunk dwarves?
Can the world have enough angry drunk dwarfs, Chris?
I'm not really sure.
I would imagine that Howard will do what Howard does, and if you want to analyze it from a TV viewpoint, as much as you do it, you'll never be able to figure it out, but you'll look at the ratings book, there's Howard.
All right, cool.
Chris, we will look forward to having you watching us, okay?
I shall do.
Take care, my friend. That's it for Chris. Coming up here, we still have a chance to talk with Craig Karmazin, who is the program director of WTLX, but first, it's Lewis. Hi, Lewis. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Well, look at me, Lewis. I'm talented. I'm attractive. What can you think?
I don't know. I'm not going to touch that.
You're probably better off. The president said the same thing, Lewis. I don't trust him either. Lewis, what do you think about this? Howard Stern. He's a shock jock. He's a media mogul. He's coming to Madison now. He's going to be on television here every Saturday night. Your comment?
Well, I think that from the way that it sounds, that if just from the piece that I saw from what voice that they couldn't put through because of some difficulties, it sounds like he's got about as bad mind as Jerry Springer. Maybe not as rough, but I don't think I'd want to be caught with listening to something like that.
Thank you, Lewis. And keep in mind that as much as that might bother me, Jerry Springer, again, huge ratings. I got to start hitting somebody with a chair. We're going to go to break. We'll be back. Very exciting stuff here. Howard Stern, love him, hate him. He's coming. Look out.
People are abandoning network television. I hope you know that.
It is true.
In droves. They're sick of it. Because it has become too stale and conservative. And for the first time in recent memory, put on a show and a personality who not only breaks the rules, but has rules especially written for him.
Back again on Get It On Sly at Night, and the calls are pouring in. Howard Stern does this to people. Let's find out. Apparently on line 4, it's 3, as far as I can tell. Hi, you say what about Howard Stern? Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, am I on?
Yes, you are on.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was wondering, Mancow, Muller out of Chicago, and Howard Stern both.
They go after each other forever. Mancow,
Yeah,
Mueller.
they do.
For people who don't know at home, Mancow, another shock jock, syndicated all across the entire country.
How do you think a show like that would go over in Madison?
I think we're going to find out. Craig Karmazin, who's the program director of WTLX, we'll be talking to him shortly, and he's going to be carrying, and in fact already is, on 100.5 Howard Stern every morning, and the word of mouth has been amazing. There's been no advertising, but people are already listening. This is the kind of thing that people will listen to. I mean, what would you do? Would you listen?
Oh, yeah. I drive semi, and I listen to Mancow when I'm down in Chicago area quite often. And puts you on edge a little.
Yeah, he'll put you on the edge. Just make sure you don't jump over, okay?
Yeah, thanks
All
a
right,
lot.
thanks, man. Well, see, we're finding out more and more what people like, and it seems as though they have no problem with it. Bobby in Madison, how are you?
Good.
Good,
How you
Bob.
doing?
Well, you know me, Bobby. Look at me, Bobby. I'm dry and saucy like a good martini. What's going on, Bob?
Well, you said earlier that he was going to have screenwriters and sketch writers on his show on TVW, and I think that's definitely going to change his the way he acts and his personality on the show. And I was just curious, do you think that's going to affect that or not?
Well, you know, more importantly to me is, does the American public want him to change?
Not at all.
See, that's it. What he's done has been so successful at the entertainment network, and there are things I haven't agreed with. If people who don't know, Howard Stern has continually said that lesbians equal ratings. To me, lesbians equal another group of people that deserves attention as much as any other group of people.
Yeah.
But he proves that what he's saying is right again and again and again and again. So you can go, you know, 2 places here. You can say, yes, Howard Stern's right, no, Howard Stern's wrong, he's the apocalypse, and you can defend either way. Will you watch the show if the show remains the same as it was, if the content does indeed have, like he said, the naked women, the lesbians, etc., the dwarfs?
Of course.
Of course. See, look at that. It's incredible. Howard Stern. I got to get on this guy's show. Thank you for calling.
Take care.
See ya. Well, so far, everybody positive. Let's go to Dave in Sun Prairie. Dave, how are you?
How you doing, sir?
Well, Dave, I can't complain, Dave.
I talked to you before, and tell you what, it's like anything else. It's like a casino. It's like a video place. It's like, what I was trying to say, visions. They don't pull your arm to get in there. You can only tune the station off.
See, that's something I want people to keep in mind. Like on his radio show, you can always change the station. No one is going to force you to watch this. But for some reason, people who hate him, people who love him, are there for him, regardless. You know, this is a guy who, after Latin star Selena was shot and killed, played some of her music followed by gunshots. And was it simply media manipulation? Was it just a case of him wanting to get someone upset? More than likely, yes. Did it work? Apparently so. He's got a syndicated national show and now a TV show starting Saturday night. When we come back, we're going to have a chance to speak with Craig Karmazin, who is the program director from WTLX. It's still on the way. And more Howard Stern. Love him, hate him. He's here.
When my show hits the airwaves this Saturday, and this is a prediction, people will flock to it like maggots on fresh roadkill on a hot Texas day.
Oh!
That's how I feel about it.
Back again, more talk about Howard Stern. Now, people have, this up in arms about this. I've had people stop me on the street and say, Dave, how can you in good conscience work at a network that's going to carry the Howard Stern show? Well, like anything else, I might not agree with everything he does, but some of the things are okay. Like the president, his foreign policy's fine. I don't like the whole idea of the intern fondling. That's just me. Let's go to line 3. Hi, Stacy. How are you? Stacy?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I didn't mean to do that to you. I jumped at you like that out of the blue. Now, Stacy, what is your comment? I want to see if people are actually upset about Howard Stern coming here.
No, I think that he worked really hard to get where he's at, and I think that if people don't like it, don't watch or don't listen.
Did you see the movie Private Parts?
No, I did not.
Okay, see, I'm still amazed that you would say what you say then, because there's a lot of people who say that Howard made that movie with the intention of making himself more Midwest, hometown friendly, and that it would show his softest, tender side, whatever he wanted to manufacture, and that would work for him. But in your opinion, you're saying you just know about Howard Stern and you have no problem with what he does.
Right, he's a family man that's just worked hard to get where he's at, and I think that he should be able to say what he wants to say.
Stacy, thank you very much for your call.
Thank you.
You betcha, no problem. So I think people are speaking out pretty good. Tim, you're in Madison, and I want to hear what you have to say. Go for it, buddy.
How you doing, Dave?
Hey, Tim, I'm doing fantastic, and I'm surprised that no one is even upset, offended, worried, calls Howard Stern any names, nothing yet. Nobody has a problem with this guy.
You know why?
Why?
It's called freedom of speech, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why we came to this country. I would defend his right. As much as I think what the Ku Klux Klan does is vile, disgusting, and offensive, I would also be there to defend their right to say what they have to say.
Right.
The same thing.
Couple things, Dave. Is this anything like is the show that's on cable or anything, or
is there anything? What? I'm sorry.
Are these going to be like shows that have been on cable, or are these going to be?
No,
totally
this
different?
is nothing like cable. This they will be more than likely, I'm guessing, still his radio show as he said. But I am going to tell you this too. Howard has made it perfectly clear that because he's with the CBS company, a company that has carried everybody from Ed Sullivan to David Letterman, he's going to use what he can to make the show better. I'll tell you, he's got Norm Macdonald from Saturday Night Live. Who knows who else he's going to get?
All right. I have no problem. My wife gets down at like 9 o'clock at night, and then she watches them.
Well, see, that's the trick, really, is to wait till the wife is gone and then tune in. That's, just a tip from me. Not necessarily my wife. We're going to take another break, and we're going to come back with Craig Karmazin from WTLX, who is carrying him on his local Madison radio station now, 100.5. More Howard Stern right after this.
So I ask you, should the American public bow to me, accept me, cater to me? Well, what else can they do? Except the fact that I am the greatest entertainer of the millennium.
Yeah, baby! Watch the Howard Stern Radio Show.
Back again now on Sly at Night, and this is something important for those of you who do have internet access. You want to leave your comments on tonight's topic, of course, Howard Stern. Here's what you do. You go to channel3000.com. That's simple. That's www.channel3000.com. Then you click on Talkback, then click on It's Sly, and then you can let us know what you think about your topic tonight. Piece of cake, right? I think so. Hey, let's go to Craig Karmazin. Now, if you want to know who he is the program director. He is the general manager of a station located now here in Madison, WTLX 100.5. Craig, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Craig, nice to talk to you. Craig Karmazin, for those of you who don't know, as far as I'm concerned, a media genius bringing Howard Stern here.
Oh, thank you very much, David. That's what all those calls into our offices in the last few days have been telling me.
You know, Craig, I expected tonight some controversy. I expected people to go back and forth on this, but you know what? It has been nothing but positive response about Howard Stern repeatedly.
Yeah, and that's what we found here. A lot of people thought bringing Howard Stern into Madison, you'd have a lot of negatives, a lot of people saying he's too controversial. But I think with his movie that came out in the past and with all his books and his pay-per-view specials, people have really gotten to see what Howard Stern's all about, and they've liked it.
Well, the interesting thing is, I think people have gotten a chance to know who Howard Stern is. So you don't just see what he's doing, you see what he's about. People seem to know his family, and I think all of us know somebody who once in a while does something just for the thrill of it or just for the shock of it. And if somebody doesn't like it, it's very easy for them to simply change the station.
Yeah, there's always other stations, and the people who like Howard Stern really are into the show, and anyone who doesn't like the show, there's an off button on every TV and radio. There's a channel changer, so it doesn't really even to me seem like a very controversial issue. It's the most entertaining show on radio or TV, and we've had a great amount of support for it so far.
Well, that's great. Would you mind if we take some calls from some other people here on the air with you, Craig?
Sure, definitely.
All right, here we go. Let's go initially to Lita in Madison. Hi, Lita. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Lita, I want to know, you are a woman, I'm guessing. Lita, am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Thank you, Lita. I'm here all week. And I want to know from you, what is your reaction, Howard Stern, radio and TV?
I'm absolutely thrilled. I just moved here from Scottsdale, Arizona, and we had him on the air there in the morning on the radio and on the E! channel in the evening. Never missed him. My family is huge fans. I have a 23-year-old daughter, a 21-year-old son, and he is just an entertainer is what he is. And if anybody thinks anything differently, and Craig is right, thank you, Craig, for bringing him here, can turn off the off button. You're 100% right. He's an entertainer. Yes, he is controversial, but he is funny, he's amusing, and he's entertaining.
Well, that seems to be the reaction we've gotten so far tonight. I'm going to keep going and keep trying. Lita, thank you for your call.
Thanks for bringing him here.
All right, thank you. Craig?
Yes?
Take half the credit. Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, and I'm excited because I think a lot of people coming in say that, that women don't like him, that this and that, but people who give him a chance, it really seems across the board that people enjoy his program.
Well, we're going to try and find out if we can see what other people are feeling here in Madison. Let's go to line 5. It's Terry. Hi, Terry. How are you?
Hi, Dave.
Terry, we want to find out what you feel. Obviously, so far, there's been overwhelming support for Howard Stern's his radio program, which can be heard on WTLX 100.5, and his television show, which will now be here this Saturday night at 10:30. What is your feeling?
I don't think you're going to like it. I'm not too fond of the man. I'm sure he's got his right to do his thing, do what he wants to do, but I really, truly believe having children age 13 and 7, son and daughter, that things like this should be kept behind closed doors.
But that's when it comes down to the question, Terry. Is it Howard Stern's job or is it your job to keep your children away from that?
We all have our job, but you know what? My honest opinion, you ask 90% of the men that are in prison for rape, you ask child molesters, you ask anybody of that origin, of that nature, why they're there, and I'll bet you half of them will tell you, hey, I've seen it. I've seen the books, I've seen this, I've heard that.
And I think that's good, and I think it is important that we blame the majority of our violent crime on Howard Stern. That's why I cut her off. Craig?
But David, what she brings up is an interesting point. But both when you're airing the TV show, which is late at night, and when we air the radio show, that's when parents have the most access to their children. When kids are getting ready for school in the morning, or kids are being driven to school or on the school bus, kids are with their parents or at school. So there's not really a chance for children to be exposed to this unless parents go out of their way to expose their
That's exactly right, Craig. And what I say to that is, if indeed that's the same thing, then if she's going to say, oh, the rapists, the murderers, all these people are exposed to it, well, then maybe they shouldn't have been, and maybe you can just key that in that the parents should just watch, okay? Because I can tell you this much. My dad might have sent me in the other room so he could watch Howard Stern, but he would have stayed and watched Howard Stern just the same.
I have access to a lot of crime statistics throughout this country, and Howard Stern is only in 49 radio markets at this time.
Oh.
And there still is crime in the other cities.
So, the other cities do still have crime?
Yeah, there is still crime in other cities throughout the country.
I'm just making sure he's not the cause of all of it, because I know some petty theft I have to blame on his radio show. We've got Jim in Sun Prairie. Jim, you want to know, will they edit the show?
Yeah.
Well, now, I imagine, Jim, as you saw the clip Howard said earlier, the great thing about this is we're talking each week. He's got 5 hours each day that he's on the air. Is that right? Is it 4 or 5 hours, Craig?
Howard goes as long as he wants. He comes on every day at 6 o'clock, and he goes till whenever he feels like leaving. Sometimes it's after 11. We never edit his show. The one thing we do is we run the show in 1 hour tape delay because the show comes in, because it's done out of New York, it comes in at 5 o'clock locally.
Okay.
We run the show at 6 o'clock just so it's on times when the most people are awake and the most people can be exposed to the show.
And remember, there's only so much you can edit anyway. It still is Howard Stern. Right. Well, we found out quite a bit tonight. Madison seems receptive to him. Tune in Saturday night, 10:30. Tune in next week for Sly at Night. And thank you for watching.